Okay, hello and welcome to the start of my F1 2021 McLaren Road to Glory. If you don't know how this works, what it is I will be McLaren's second driver for however many seasons it takes to win the World Drivers' Championship. You know, it could be one season, it could be 5. We'll have to see. Just how everything goes. I'm only going to be doing 25% races and not 50%ers because my teams take up a lot of my time to make. And you know, I've got school and things, so can create content and not drain me mentally. So yeah. With that said, let's have a look at the calendar for this career mode. Bahrain, Monaco, Azerbaijan, Austria, Britain, Belgium, Italy, Russia, Japan, and Brazil to finish it all off. And I reckon that that's a pretty decent, a pretty decent calendar for me. Most of those tracks other than Japan I'm very familiar with and like a lot. So, it should be good. Anyways, some words from Mr. Will Buxton.
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for the inaugural round of the 2021 Formula One World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that. It's a breath of fresh air. It's an element of normality in what has at times felt to be something of an abnormal world. Now, we were supposed to have a raft of new regulations this season, but as we know, they've been held back, which does give all of these teams the opportunity to have a second bite at the cherry, one final chance to show what they can do in this era of Formula One. But the responsibility for results, as always, falls on the drivers. But with the cars at their disposal this year being very similar to the cars they had at their disposal last year, succeed, and they of course will put it all on themselves as a display of their innate skills and abilities. But the knife cuts both ways, because if they fail to succeed, there's absolutely nowhere for them to hide. The other question, though, remains as to which of these teams has been able to do the incredible, the impossible perhaps, with these regulations and pull something out of the hat over the winter that gives them the march on their rivals. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin, but for now, from us, that's your luck.
Alright then, into our first ever qualifying for McLaren, and hopefully we can put ourselves somewhere up near the top. You know, in the top 10 would be nice. Yeah. So we're rocking the number 21 McLaren then. On our second qualifying lap, we're going to have to go round the inside of Esteban Ocon there, as he is also doing his flyer lap, and we are just much faster, up from P13 to around about P7, if we don't get knocked backwards, which is a pretty decent qualifying.
Rumour and speculation all come to an end today, as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round 1 of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. So here we are in 2021 at the start of another Formula One World Championship. It all begins here. Mercedes looking to retain their hold on the title. Red Bull seeking to secure their position as the main contender for that title. Ferrari no doubt hoping for a fresh start following their difficulties last year. And elsewhere on the grid, the prospect of some really exciting battles, including between the newly rebranded Aston Martin and Alpine teams. Lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
It's good to be back, Crofty. Let's hope for some good racing today. We can't know at this point how competitive these teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody is able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checkered flag.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Verstappen, Lando Norris and Leclerc, Reed, Sainz, Gasly and Lance Stroll, Tsunoda, Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Ocon, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Alright, sitting in the car on the grid for the first time. 14 lap race, so we're going to go for a 14.2 laps worth of fuel. Because there can still be safety cars in this, just it's a lot more unlikely. I am on 100 AI, so don't complain that it's too low. It's not. I'm pushing myself here. But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this, because in the F1 2021 game, I haven't really played in normal cars. It's always been in the My Team car. So hopefully this car won't have as much oversteer and understeer, because I know the My Team chassis is awful. Like, absolutely awful. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be better. I know this intro has been really long to the video. I mean, we're 6.5 minutes in, and we haven't got racing. But, it won't be like this it will be like 8-minute episodes. But anyways, to 5, red lights for the first time in the bright orange car. We are underway for a pretty good start at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We go for a move down the left-hand side of our teammate Lando Norris there. Charles Leclerc ahead of us in that Santander Ferrari. We're going to go for a look around the outside into turn 1 to try and get a pretty good start and get a good position. Bottas being held up by his teammate there, so we can get past Bottas up into P4 behind Hamilton. We're going to run out of ERS pretty quickly, so we have to use it sparingly. We go for a look down the inside of turn 4, but we can't seem to make it because we are hitting those curves too much, and we can't risk any underbody damage. Seeing as the fact that there's only 14 laps, there's not much time, or not many laps to make time back up from a pit stop for a front wing damage and whatnot, so we have to be a lot more careful. The car's feeling pretty slippery, but we've managed to keep it up into P4. At the end of lap 2 then, DRS to be enabled. We're going to set a personal best.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
And this is where we'll probably lose P4 pretty quickly with DRS. End of lap 3 though, here we go. Bottas rounds the inside on that straight, cutting it close to the wall. He's got DRS, so we can't get him. But we should get DRS back on him up the next straight, so we might be able to get him back. But we are running low on ERS. We're going to have to be saving this up for the next couple of laps, just to try and keep us alive. And we're not going to be able to make it past Bottas into turn 4, which is such a shame. Anyways, pitting on lap 4 then. Doesn't seem like anyone else's, but I forget that tyre wear is different between 25 and 50% races, so I can really only do 1 qualifying lap, not 2. Hence why I'm pitting on lap 4 and not like lap 6 like everyone else will be. I have to say though, McLaren, great choice. It's a team I support, so it's a pretty obvious choice. But it also looks it's such a nice car. I have the Abu Dhabi livery on it.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
But it's just so nice, especially under the floodlights. Such a nice colour. Like, seriously. End of lap 5 then. Some people are pitting. Norris, our teammate, has pitted. So not some people, one person will be out ahead of him by about 4 or 5 seconds. Oh no, only 1. Never mind, ignore me. Lap 6 then. Russell, Stroll, quite a few people pitting then. Mazepin as well. Going in, there's about 4 or 5 people will get past here from P19 all the way up to P14. We're going to be out way ahead of Leclerc as well. So cutting or going a lap earlier than everyone, or 2 laps earlier than everyone else, has really paid off. Lap 7 then, Schumacher, Latifi.
The car ahead is 3.2 seconds.
We're going to be up into P7 here, just behind Valtteri Bottas, but just too far behind to get DRS off of him for this next straight, which is a bit of a shame, because he will pull away because that Mercedes power unit in that Mercedes car is very good. Lap 10 then, we've skipped ahead a little bit. nothing much has happened. We're in P5, Norris P6, Charles Leclerc in P7, Bottas and Hamilton far up the road, over 3 seconds ahead for Bottas, so it's not going to happen. We're not going to be able to do anything with that, but we're now just going to have to be defending from Norris and to Leclerc as well, because he'll also be right there. Lap 13 out of 14 and we're still ahead. Lap 14, Lando Norris goes for a move around the outside of turn 10 on us. He can't make it, and Leclerc has gone up and taken his P6 position. Lando Norris down into P7. Charles Leclerc, probably going to be our rival for the end of this season, the Ferrari team, has managed to gain an extra couple of points on him. Come on, Norris, why'd you risk it? Also, it seems like our fuel's very low, but I think we're like plus 0.2 laps, so yeah, should be fine. Sergio Perez then, your race winner for the first race, for his first race at Red Bull. Pretty decent stuff from him. As the fireworks are booming, we're going to go across the line to the checkered flag in P5 for our first race at McLaren.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
And Jeff just doesn't seem to care. I thought that was a pretty good performance, to be honest, for a first race. A team beating your teammate by 2 places. Being in the top 5, you know, your normal stuff. But
Victory for the team from Milton Keynes then, after a quality performance.
I said that's a pretty good first race. Things are looking up.
How do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
Alright then. 10 points, 16 points for the constructors. I really hope you enjoyed this, because I really want to continue this. Maybe do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday I post this, and then the rest of the days I post my team or something, because then we can just have a little bit of variation to it. So thank you for watching this one, if you did watch it all the way to the end. If you did enjoy this, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I don't normally ask, but I will. And I hope to see you in Monaco for race number 2.